Hello, my name is Dan Johnson. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing a brand new Big Finish release, and that is called the Quintessence. That is a new Third Doctor adventure starring Tim Chalor playing the title character and Katie Manning playing Jo Jones. Now, I don't know a lot about the Third Doctor adventures, but earlier in the year I delved into a story called Intelligence for War, which I really enjoyed, and I found out that the Third Doctor adventures is some of the most popular output from Big Finish, and I kind of dip in now and then when I see a release that takes my fancy. You may notice from the cover that Katie Manning is playing the older version of Jo Grant, so Jo Jones, and the sort of main draw with this dynamic is that Jo has lived her life. She's seen all of these things, and now she's returned to the Doctor, kind of completed her arc, I suppose, from being sort of the girl that comes in is very clumsy and drops all of her test tubes, and now she's very independent. And it feels like the dynamic is now very similar to the Bernie Summerfield and the Unbound Doctor, where the Doctor is sort of the facilitator of the adventures, but really sort of Jo is the main character in many respects, and it's her adventures, it's her decisions and stuff like that. It really focuses on her performance in this one, which is brilliant. So this is very much a Jo story, and the Doctor arrives on a storm planet with a creepy manor house, and the people within this manor house, this family, are worshipping something called the Angels. And so over the next 3 hours, this family is going to have their lives changed due to the Cybermen. I really adored this story. This is written by Stuart Pringle and Lauren Mooney, who have written quite a few episodes that I've listened to, particularly in the Ninth Doctor Adventures, and they have a really good writing partnership. And with this story, I think it's got a sort of fresh take to it because these people are used to writing more modern episodes of Doctor Who. So when they're sort of given 3 hours, they don't necessarily follow the same sort of 70s format that some of the other writers do. And it's no secret that six-parters, even the good ones with John Pertwee, do sort of have this drawback that they're so long. And I love that this story has almost blocks. This did not feel like a really clunky six-parter. This felt like a really good movie edition of a story. I also think the sound design of this episode is really good. The first two parts particularly have a sort of slower, more atmospheric pace that is painted out beautifully by the sound design. There is also some really horrific, sort of horror-like moments that are beautifully illustrated with sound cues and stuff like that, that even though you can't actually see what's going on, the impact is still there. And because you kind of have these setups and payoffs and these sort of running threads throughout all six parts, it's a really nice, easy story to follow. And with it a payoff as it has in episode 6, you'll definitely be satisfied by the ending. We also have a nice dark take on the Cybermen that we have seen before, but focusing on the sort of conversion side and using the Cybermen quite sparingly, and sort of adding in that horror aspect I talked about with the sound design and that atmosphere makes the Cybermen feel like a really threatening presence, which I love. Not only do we have that atmospheric sort of tone to begin with, but we also have some quite horrific moments describing sort of flesh and peeled skin and stuff like that. It's really quite haunting. And the script illustrates these things beautifully, even though you can't see them. At the end of these videos, I always like to ask if I am satisfied with the money that I spent on it, and this is a great release. I am 100% satisfied with the money I spent on it. I have really enjoyed listening to it this week. I listened to it in one day, and I made sure, this doesn't normally happen, but I got through a certain way, I think like 4 or 5 episodes in, and I ended up putting it on just in my room so I could finish the story. Not for sake of review or anything like that, but because I really wanted to know what happened and I really wanted to wrap up everything. So for that, this is a really great release. I would definitely recommend it. I think this is going to be one of my favorites of the year. I don't know kind of where it would go at this point. I'm not sure even what my other favorites of the year may be, but this is definitely going to be up there. I would definitely recommend this story. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give a like, subscribe if you're new, and I shall see you soon.